Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
But when isn't it? When isn't it vital to the future of you all? It is always vital to the future of you all. It's vital to the future of you, of me, of everyone. I just think everything I say is vital to all of us. I think that's a reasonably fair outlook to have. Listen, you may disagree with me, you may agree with me. It's up to you. I don't mind either way. We can go either way on display. Lord Thoth, how are you? Good afternoon. Good morning for you. Where are you in the world? I have no idea. But Lucifer Storm, I know for you it is comfortable 4:00 in the UK. How are you? Thank you for joining us here. And I am not here alone. This is one of my favorite type of streams where I get to talk about something that I really enjoy. Well, actually, I only ever talk about things I really enjoy. But this is one of the things I really enjoy. I'm going to be talking about comics. I'm talking about comics with Robert Geronimo. I don't know if that's his real name. If it is his real name, that's kind of interesting. I think we've got to find out more about it. More about here. Ottawa. Where the hell's Ottawa? Yeah, okay, fine. Ottawa's there you are. Nice to see you. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to add him to the storm. It is Robert Geronimo. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining us.
Excellent. Happy to be here, Rabbi. Thank you.
I'm happy that you're happy. I am happy to make you happy. Let's just say.
Awesome.
That is the very right headphones you got there.
Yeah, right. They're not too bad. I know. It makes me a little alien-like, but I'm okay with it.
Right, I did realize it was in Canada. I thought, how incredibly ignorant did I sound? But I thought I got away with it.
You did. No, you played it well. You played it very well.
Yeah, that's it. Here, this is okay. Here's how you get out of trouble. And there's many different. If somebody asks you, if you're at a party at a function, and somebody asks you something you don't understand, right? You don't understand the question. You just laugh and walk away. Okay. Ask me something about something I don't know anything about. Just go ahead.
Right.
Ask me.
I'll just say anything.
Yeah, ask me about something I don't know about.
Something I don't know if you wouldn't know it though. Okay.
Where'd you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah. Well, so where are you? Where'd you live?
Am I asking you that?
No. Okay, fine. Let's back this one up. Ooh, okay, fine. Okay. Whereabouts do you live?
Oh, okay. That was a sincere question.
That was a real question. Yeah, I was prepping you. Okay.
I live in New York City.
Okay, New York City. Ask me something
Staten Island
about New York City that only New Yorkers will understand and I wouldn't. Like, what do I think of? Like, where'd you go shopping for comics? What's your comic book store you like to go to?
Okay, I like to. Well, unfortunately, a lot of them are closed. So I love Midtown Comics and Haven for Heroes.
Fine. Ask me something about Midtown Comics, like specifically about where they put that. Ask me something about Midtown Comics.
Okay, who is the shop owner of Midtown Comics?
The shop owner, yeah, right. Okay, see, it works. Any freaking subject, any question.
That's an excellent technique. I need to start.
You get out of trouble so easily. The other thing is never ever always lead into your mistakes, right? Always lead into like when you screw up, just go, yeah. Never try and hide from it and just be amused by it. That way, nobody can take the piss out of you. Like I used to run this prayer group. It's called a Minion on the Sabbath, and I was terrible at it. I had no idea what I was doing. I made mistakes all the time, but because I was the first one to laugh, no one ever complained. Like one
That's
time,
a great technique.
There's different things you can pay for. Like Jews are good at monetizing stuff, right? You're in New York, right? You've been to this Cedars-Sinai Hospital occasionally, right?
Of course, yeah.
If you ever go in there, every freaking bit of space on that wall is covered with a plaque, like everywhere, like you can't break a wall. Everything is a plaque. So Jews are very good at monetizing stuff. And so there's
I've actually never been there. I just used your technique and I laughed and you didn't even realize it.
Hey, exactly. I didn't even notice. That's how great it is. So there's this on the high holidays, on the holy days. Somebody says there's different blessings people say that they pay for because it's like supposed to be a good omen, right? So
okay.
and I'm the one in charge. I do the calling up. I give them out like the official give out of these blessings.
Right.
And I called out the wrong guy, and he paid a fortune for it, like a fortune for it. And now once I called him up, I'm like, well, what do I do now? It's already done. Well, like, what? But fortunately,
So you just laughed it off.
no, actually, I ended up paying for him because I felt about guilty. So it's not university success.
I was going to say it doesn't work in every scenario.
No, that once cash comes into play, forget it. Yeah,
And there's no laughing.
Right. No one's laughing when you're looking at a wallet. Okay, Robert, nice to meet you. I met you once very briefly when I did a game show last week. But hello.
Right.
You like comic books? I take it. You're a bit of a fan of the old comics.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan. Yeah, they're not too bad. Yeah, I don't mind them.
Tell me your route into comics. Your little way of how did you get into comics?
How did I get into comics? Well, it was when my mother would take me to the grocery store, when they used to be in the grocery store all the time. And it was probably just to to get me quiet, while she was shopping and stuff like that. And she was a huge Superman fan, massive. Right. I'm not a huge Superman fan, but that was my gateway into comics. And when I opened it up, I was just hooked from day one. These were moving pictures. They felt like movies. Because like I've never seen so much energy and action happening in a book, and I loved it because I was so used to picture books and children's books before that. Right. So the fact that I could go through the story with the pictures, because I never actually read it, so I didn't know who Doomsday was exactly. I kind of made up my own story as a kid, but that was really my first introduction. And then as I got older, when my mom would take me to the comic book shop, I'd start tugging her on because I want to go check out Vertigo. Hellblazer.
Hellblazer. There you're talking. When did you start reading Hellblazer?
I started reading that maybe, right before high school. That's when I was
not in your life. I mean, in the publication history.
I wasn't sure.
I'm like, I don't give a shit when. No, I meant when. Yeah, sorry. About when in the production run did you start your appreciation of Hellblazer? Hellblazer.
Okay. It was during the time, I believe it was the Garth Ennis, the one where he has lung cancer.
Right.
I forgot the name of that one. And then I would go back to Jamie Delano and kind of catch up on the older stuff. And I tried my best to follow it sequentially as they were, coming out and everything like that. Just catching up on the backlog.
That was Vertigo before Vertigo, right? They hadn't. That was
right.
Yeah, and then stuff. That was basically that, and Sandman wasn't Vertigo either. It was that.
I don't think it started out as Vertigo.
What? No, Swamp Thing. It was that and Swamp Thing because Hellblazer was a spin-off from Swamp Thing. I thought it was an interesting casting, getting James Delano to write it. Go from Alan Moore to James Delano. It's like that. It just seems like a bit of a sideways step.
Right.
I don't know who did the art. It was John Ridgway did the art in the beginning, and by the time it was Will Simpson, wasn't it?
Oh no, I don't remember. I think so. Yeah,
right,
I know it was Garth Ennis writing it.
Right.
It's been a long time.
My favorite Hellblazer run is still Azarello, which is so not Hellblazer. It's so like in America.
It is.
Mario Fusen doing the artwork. I think was it Mario? Yeah, Mario Fusen was the art, and it was so like different from Hellblazer. But I still think that one he really nailed that character.
Is that the one he did? Was it Hard Time? Is that the one where he's in prison?
Yeah.
There's one. Yeah, that was great. I love Andy Diggle's run with Leonardo Manco, I think is the artist.
I hate. I can't. Honestly, I've never read anything by Andy Diggle that I didn't shake my head going, how did that get published? It
was more of the art. I love the art. I love Leonardo Manco's art, and I love the villain. Mako.
Yeah,
Mako was that mage with the teeth.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, it's fine. So, what was it your mother loved about Superman?
She just, I don't know what it was. She just loved the character. She loved the relationship between him and Lois Lane, and she just collected Superman comics all the way up until he died. Once he died, she was like, "That's ridiculous." Yeah. My father wasn't really into comics, so my mother was.
Well, that was when Doomsday killed him, right?
Yeah, Doomsday killed him, and then she was like, "This is
All right.
ridiculous," and then she stopped.
So where's your mother on Superman movies? I'm intrigued. Which ones? Does she like
Christopher Reeve?
Christopher Reeve, he's a classic.
Yeah,
does she like was it Henry Cavill? And never.
Yeah, she liked it. It was just that she felt like the movie was just. It was like he was wasted. Personally,
look, the movie isn't as fun and as accessible as the Marvel movies that it was like contemporary to, right? It's not. It didn't have that like fun kinetic feel to it I guess for me it seemed like a very reasonable representation of DC Comics.
Sure,
from the 2000s, which
I love the opener.
Yeah, it wasn't really the sort of comics I would read, but it seemed like I like Batman versus Superman as well. I thought that was again they're long, they're not really good for your first. They're much better on their second and third viewings, whereas Marvel movies you basically get one or two views out of them before you're like, Doctor Strange is essentially Iron Man, the exact same movie, just with
they're the same films. They're the same. They're the same films, and it's
the same film. Just one's got a lot more drugs than the other, right? What's going on?
That might be a positive for some people.
I'm sorry.
That might be a positive for some people.
Certainly. That's not a good movie to see on mushrooms. I would recommend against that. Actually, don't do drugs, kids, especially when watching Doctor Strange. So fine. Okay. So now I got in context. You went to the more Vertigo-y stuff. Like, how old were you then?
How old was I then? I was, let's see. I was maybe around 13, 14 when I was really kind of like, leaning toward the scarier stuff, like even Predator and Dark Horse. So that's when I was kind of, actually like interested in like reading it and telling scary stories and in my artwork as well. Cause I was always drawing and making little short comics.
Right. So that was my next question. So when did your love of comics turn into you making comics?
I just, it was probably around that time. It was definitely around that time where I was like, you know what? I want to do this for a living. Because if these guys could make all these stories, I was like, I want to do this. So I just, go ahead.
So I was going to say, so what happened next? You said you want to make comics. Tell us your story. Like, how do you go? Like, what happened next?
Sure. So then I kept drawing and drawing. I would take little art classes here and there. And then I ended up taking little art classes in high school, but none of them were comic focused. I'll be honest. I had to teach myself mostly about how to make comics and just reading them and getting Will Eisner's books on comics. That really helped me.
Yeah.
So because a lot of schools don't offer a lot of comic book making classes that could really help your skills. At least what I do
now, but back 20, 30 years ago, but they probably do. Like I think they did in my kids' schools, and that was like a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had like, and it was like very simplistic. It was like like visual storytelling, but I guess it's just so much part of like the national consciousness now. So I guess it's passé. That's why they teach it in schools. That's what happened.
No, yeah. And it's just, just today's time is nerd culture is in. It's just very interesting because when I was a kid,
I think we peaked and we're on our way out now. I think that was, I think about
I hope
2
so.
years
I'm not going to lie. Okay.
Yeah,
because
honestly,
there was a time
when it was quieter, when they didn't have so
Same.
many. Yeah,
with video games and the whole culture. Culture.
I went to Comic-Con in San Diego one time, and that was like the last you could probably go. That was the year they showed the Iron Man trailer. It was like a year before it came out. So I was like, and you didn't have to queue up for anything. You didn't line up for anything. I just walked in, sat down, watched it. I'm like, I'm not going to line up for it. Freaking mine, leave me alone.
Sure.
I was like, that looks good. I'll go see that movie.
Right. So speaking of Iron Man, eventually what happened was I wasn't into superhero comics for a while until it was all Vertigo. And then sprinkled with Dark Horse and indie books. And then my friend was like, hey man, he was like, Rob, Iron Man and Captain America are fighting. There's a thing called Civil War right now.
Right.
I said, what? He was like, they're split down the middle. So it got me really like back into superhero comics again, because as much as I appreciate it, I would play the games and I would watch some of the movies. I was never really like, I was like,
Right.
no, Hellblazer,
That must have been. So this is
2000.
before the MCU, right? This is before the MCU has taken over the world.
Oh yeah, this is way before that. Yeah, this is when it was the first big, huge, like I would say, this was the biggest event I had experience with Marvel. I know there are others.
So I had heard about it, but I totally wasn't reading that at the time. So fine. So that brought you back in. Again, it's very good in like the whole soap opera thing to like bring you in. Yeah,
exactly. It's like the gateway back into it. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I wanna pursue this stuff again in terms of like mainstream, and because I wasn't sure. I was like writing, art. Which one do I do? Do I do art? Do I do writing? Or do I find a normal job where I don't have all this heartache?
Well, so you have to do all three. That's
yes, exactly. You have to. So eventually, I ended up applying for an internship when I was in college at Marvel, and I was shocked because I actually got the internship.
Get out of here! That's incredible.
It was pretty great. It was a great experience.
Today.
Yeah. Oh no. So it was a great experience because I realized
what year was that?
This was 2000. Was it 2007 or 8? Because I saw the Iron Man's private screening with all of the staff.
Very cool.
I was there for that, and I had a whole premiere at the Ziegfeld Theater we were able to go to, and it was for that and Hulk because I was there for about a year and almost over a year interning there. But I realized I never wanted to work there. That's how great of an experience it was because it was so corporate. The atmosphere was not the atmosphere I had pictured when I was young. I thought it was going to be everyone working together kind of thing. We all love comics, but
could you read the bullpen, right? You read about that bullpen, you reckon everyone's in it together. It's so cool. It's like you think you should sleep at the school at night, when you're little.
Exactly. And it wasn't like that. I'll be blunt. I'll be honest. It wasn't like that. And it wasn't until my boss over there, he saw how much I wanted to make comics and how badly I wanted to work making comics. Right. He pulled me aside and he said, "Rob, do you seriously want to make comics?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Don't work here." He goes, "I'm telling you right now."
Who your boss was, or can you not say?
I don't know if I should say his name. I know he's not there anymore. He actually, the part of the story is he told me, he said, I came here wanting to be an artist. I wanted to work for Marvel because I thought this would be a great in. He goes, and he said 8 years later, he goes, I haven't lifted a pencil to draw anymore. I don't draw. So I don't want that to happen to you. So intern here, that's great, but I would not.
Like without doxing him, like what was his job? What did he do?
He ran the production department. I worked in the bullpen of the production. So it was again. I'm very thankful for that experience because he was very honest with me and he saw how badly and how much I loved making comics, and he's basically said this type of environment.
Solid, didn't he? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I don't know if our conversation had inspired him because when I came back to work I think it was a week later, they said Omar quit and he moved to California to try and pursue animation.
Oh, so,
I just said his name.
I see. I was going to gloss over that. I think
I just actually
it didn't happen. Move forward.
You're right. Damn it. But yeah, no, I actually had messaged him like a couple of years ago, and I said I just want to say thank you for what you did because now I'm on a different path now, and I wouldn't have been on it if you didn't kind of like give me that little pep talk because he was right 100%. A lot of the people there are people who think they're getting in some kind of in the industry, and they end up being there for decades.
One second, I forgot to do something really important, which I'm going to rectify right now. But I'm
sure.
The link for your IndieGoGo into the
the description or the chat.
I'll also put it in the chat.
Okay, great.
Very good. Let me pull this up. We can start talking. So this is the first book you've done, is it? Your IndieGoGo you got running now.
This is my first IndieGoGo, but I'm published with Alterna Comics. So
okay. So just before we get into this book, how did you go from production department at Marvel to Alterna? Like, what was your stepping stones?
So I had a horrible art education at the school that I went to for my bachelor's, and but I also loved art history, so I wanted to be an art history professor because I knew that realistically you can't just depend on comics, so you have to have some kind of backup. So I figured teaching college would be a great thing to pursue, even though that's pretty difficult to get in. But I'm fortunate that I'm pretty nice the way I'm set up with 2 schools.
Right.
So I ended up going for a master's in art history, and I said, you know what, this comic thing, 'cause I started doing freelance, and it was disastrous. No one taught me about contracts. No one taught me how to make myself a business and treat myself as some kind of enterprise and protect myself. So I was getting screwed.
Let me tell you that that's the thing about indie comics. You have to know all this stuff, right? You have to know all this stuff, and the only way you can
promoting
this stuff is by really, really wanting to know it. You got to really push, because
it's unfortunate.
Not like detail orientated people, right? They're not into like these minutia. Like, it makes me crazy. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted. Yeah, so you're saying?
No, but you're absolutely right. So it was very frustrating. Nothing about business. So it was a horrible experience working freelance, and I ended up deciding, you know what, the hell with comics. I'm done with this. So I said, I'm just going to go all out and just get a PhD somehow and be a college professor. So I started my master's at Brooklyn College, which is a phenomenal school. And right in my last semester, I'm about to graduate, there was a class being offered with Bruce Deegan, who created the Magic School Bus. He's the co-creator.
Right.
And everyone knows the Magic School Bus. So I said, oh, wow, that's cool. Children's book illustration. So something was like, you know what, you should take this. You're about to graduate. Take this course because you always did love making art. I took the course, and he was such a great instructor that he reinvigorated my desire to make art again. He really did. And I remember when I was graduating, he was like, oh, so what are you going to do? You're going to pursue your comics and illustration? I said, no, I'm going to be maybe I'll just go for higher education. He was like, don't do that. He goes, you should try and pursue this at least. Give it a fair shake. So I said, okay, I'll give it a fair shake. So I ended up developing my skills more through that class. I did children's books for a while. I was working in children's books, which was very different from the horror stuff that I do now.
Oh, obviously,
And then what happened was I realized, like, in my sketchbook, and then ironically, I ended up working as a college professor anyway. So it's funny how things worked out regardless. It's just so funny. So I ended up working as an instructor teaching art, for comics, and teaching art history because I love art history. And in between then,
a tangent for a second. What areas of art history do you like?
Oh boy! Well, it's funny. I actually did my thesis on the history of the Golden Age heroes, specifically Wonder Woman, because I love Greek mythology. So I didn't have really much knowledge on Wonder Woman, but when I found out that she was like tied to Greek mythology and all that, I was really fascinated by the character. So, but I love medieval. If I had to pick, medieval art and Baroque art are my 2 favorite periods.
Interesting.
Yeah,
wow! Listen, if you like horror, you could do something really, really creepy with medieval art. That's all terrifying, isn't it?
Yes, hence Blood Realm. So if you guys aren't familiar with Blood Realm, the book that I ended up pursuing after my comics, and that's what got me published by Alterna Comics. It's basically a horror medieval tale. It's a dark fantasy tale.
Where can I find this? So I can throw it up at the same time we're talking about.
You could find it on. I mean, there's a lot of reviews on YouTube, and you can also find it on alternaaccess.com. It's
access.com.
Yeah, alternaaccess.com, and then you can find all the volumes of Blood Realm. So we're on volume 3. The 3rd issue of the 3rd volume is coming out, I think, in a couple of weeks. It was delayed because of COVID. So yeah, so it's a dark fantasy horror tale.
Right. Hey, I'm just putting up the website now.
Sure.
Wait.
And it's Blood Realm, yeah.
I'll do a search. There's a search store. I will search store.
I could send you the link in the private chat if you need me to.
Well, I'm right there now. Let me try Blood Realm, and it just came right up with that.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, alternaaccess.com.
So here it is. Let me just change this.
Sure.
Screen, and we'll do share screen. It's a Chrome tab. Oh, there we go. I think here we go. There we go.
There you go. Yeah. So these are all the issues.
I remember that one when I first started looking at Alterna. Blood Realm was like the first thing I looked at, as I recall. So is that how many issues are there in each volume?
Each volume is 3 issues, so we are wrapping up the 3rd volume in the coming weeks, whenever it arrives. I know it's going to arrive any day from Alterna, again, because of all the COVID releases. I mean, delays.
What would you recommend me clicking on?
I recommend to see that beige one to the right.
There we go. Oh, no, just opened up in a new window. That's always annoying. 1 second. Now I got to stop screen again, share screen, and hopefully this is the right one. There you go.
There you go. Yeah. So, and when you click it, you can see the art. It's very reminiscent of medieval art, the period that I is my favorite. So, it's very dark. It's red. It's red and white and black, and it's actually updated. They have a little little screen tones in it, like little gray screen tones from like manga.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of horror, and I wanted to do something different with the pages. I wanted to, I mean, it's not quite your traditional comic book, but it's something different, and I think it's important to always offer something unique. That's that you can't pick out.
How do you end up getting publishing it through Alterna?
Well, I ended up realizing that, all right, as much as I enjoyed the children's books and my sketchbook, for some reason, I'm writing and drawing all these things that haunt your dreams. So if I'm doing that in my sketchbook, that means that's something I should pursue. So, because that's essentially right. So, because that's really the diary and journal of an artist, So if that's what you're doing for fun, then that's what you got to do. So I decided that I'm just going to tell this first volume and see what happens, because I'm having fun, and I wanted to feel like a 14-year-old kid making art again and having fun. So that's what it felt like when I made this. So I sent it to a bunch of publishers. I had quite a few that were interested, but they said that the book was too risky because of the art style. So, but they enjoyed the story. And then Alterna said, hey, I like this. Peter was like, this is, I've never seen anything like this before. And that means I should give this a shot. And I'm very thankful that Peter took a chance on it, because it ended up, we sold over 25,000 copies in total of all the issues so far.
Fantastic, isn't that fantastic? So this is the 3rd volume, the final volume, and you're moving on to Warhead, or what do you come back to this?
There's going to be 6 volumes of Blood Realm, so I'm just taking a little hiatus, and we're going to wrap up Wirehead, and then I'm going to start up. I'm already I'm in like halfway point of volume 4 of Blood Realm right now, and then once Wirehead's done, I'm going to go back to Blood Realm, and then maybe another horror book in October. We'll see.
That's very exciting. So are you going to like publish like a collected edition of Blood Realm?
Yes.
Is a series, right?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a nice thick graphic novel.
Way ahead of you. So what my dream, and I told this to Peter, I said eventually I want to do a tome. Like, I want it to look like one of those illuminated manuscripts.
Oh, that works so well for this, won't it? Absolutely.
I know. So we're gonna do it once the series is done. We're gonna.
You should totally do it in 2 volumes. You should do it in. You should do it in 2 volumes, because then you can sell 2 volumes. That's basic. There's a basic. If you do it if people buy 1, they'll buy 2, right? I think you should do it in 2 volumes. You should do a special edition, which is boxed, right? And it has like crate paper as you open it up, so it feels like you're getting something like a religious artifact, right? Yes,
love it. Cool.
I reckon that will go. That's a nice high end perk. So did you you didn't have to crowdsource this? They just published it straight away, right?
Right, because I had done the first volume, and then it's all me. So I letter, color, everything, illustrate, right. There's no sleeping, so I do all the work on Blood Realm.
Let me ask you, because I do it as well. Do you find you do a severe edit when you come to letter your pages?
Oh yes,
I do it. Me too. I'm like, I write a script, right? And I'm really good. I'm diligent. I write the script, and I come and look at, and it works in my head. I'm in my head. I'm like, that dialogue really works. Put it on the page. I'm like, yeah, I change everything. Like, letter with me.
Everything.
At the same time.
completely agree. I'm right there with you. It's frustrating. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. It happens every time. Even when I'm thinking, I got this. This is good. I learned from last time. Second it's on the page, I'm like, damn it. I got to reword this.
Right. That's what, I think Alterna started by the time I left America. I left America in 2005, right? And
okay.
It was when did I start trying to get? I started trying to get back into comics about 2015, which was the worst time humanly possible. I had no idea. I was sending pictures to like Black Mask and all these really ideologically crazy places without realizing they all seem so sane. They all seem so normal when you think that. Like, oh, okay, you're crazy. Yeah, and they're all crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I know. No, it's the same stuff too. It's very frustrating. That's why I'm very excited for what's happening now, especially with IndieGoGo. I think we're going to be witnessing an indie renaissance, especially with Alterna 2.
100%. Yeah, I'm getting ready to launch an IndieGoGo. I'm going to do a sign up for it starting on Halloween. I'm going to launch it in December, I think. You know what? Cool. It never even occurred to me to pitch it to Alterna. Maybe it will. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what dares to dream? Yeah. Listen, the worst they can do is say no. Actually, that's not true. The worst they can do is not say no. The worst they can do, which is what I got most of the time, is get nothing. But how many times did you send out a pitch and hear absolutely nothing back ever again?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I sent out to.
No, I used to treasure.
Oh yeah.
Rejection letters.
Oh, you have to. I have to say, one instructor told me, eat rejection for breakfast. So I never get fazed by it. Because
everything's about how much you want it, right? It's
right.
It was what was that thing that was big a few years ago, about 10 years ago? The Secret, was that? It was basically that. It was saying everything is based on desire, basically want.
Yeah, right. Wait, what was that? I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's like you like the thing that the thing that makes something happen and something not happen is wanting it to happen. Is like you could.
Oh yes. Okay, I thought that's what you were saying. Yes. Yeah, no, you have to want it.
I just stop and pay attention to this guy because he's a very, very clever, attractive, erudite gentleman. He really is, because how can I ignore this trap? The rabbi is a man. You are correct. Listen, I can't argue with you. You're right. I know. Love your channel. You are a smart guy. You see, I can tell you're smart. Glad to see the CG live stream. There's going to be a lot more of them. Keep up the good work. If you insist, the book looks interesting. The book looks great. And can I say it to everybody? If you haven't done it yet, do two things. One, click the subscribe button. If you haven't clicked the subscribe, do that. But mostly, go down there. Go to the link below, or go into the notes over there. Go into the chat, which is over there for me. It's pretty down there for you. And the link is there. I'm going to put the link there again. And check out this man's book. Back it. Make it happen, because this looks like a good book. So tell me how what's the difference between Warhead and Blood Red? What was the to make you look into the scratch?
Sure. So I'm a huge fan of slasher horror. Growing up as a kid. So I love the Freddy Krueger movies. I love the Friday the 13th films. I always loved that kind of genre, the slasher horror. And I wrote a little short story that was in this universe, and this character kind of came from that. So I just thought, this idea of this cyborg that just hunts these kids in the Pocono Mountains, which is where my grandparents had lived. And it was always creepy there at night, because when you'd be driving further and further into it toward their house, for some reason, there's fewer and fewer street light lamps, which I don't understand. So when you look behind, I don't get it. Why?
Be raped and murdered.
It's like, exactly. It doesn't make any sense to me. And, you look back when my parents would drive the car, and I would just see dead, dark road. And I just imagined some kind of creature coming out of there, out of the dark toward the car. So it was a fear I always had. Right. So, but also the idea of a metal stalker, I thought was very disturbing, kind of like the T-800 in the 80s, because, with Terminator 1 kind of feels like a slasher film, because he's knocking down and killing all of these Sarah Connors in the beginning.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. And just the idea that now you have like a Jason type of character that doesn't feel pain. So like, and I said this before in other streams, where you try to gouge out its eyes, it doesn't relinquish. You try to bite its arm, it doesn't feel it. It's just going to keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. And I found that so deeply terrifying. And also,
you can't. Yeah. What this thing is in the book, or do we have to wait for a second or third volume to find out who he is?
No, so you're going to find out everything. So this is one contained story. It's 80 pages. It's an 80-page graphic novel. So, and you could back the book for just 20, and so you're definitely getting good bang for your buck. And any backer bonuses that we unlock, you guys are going to get. I recommend the Wirehead Laboratory Access, which is the featured perk, because you get 2 books, one with a head sketch, both signed, 3 prints, a trading card, and 2 signed copies of Blood Realm and a Wirehead sticker. So you get a lot of stuff. But the one that's actually been most popular is actually the T-shirt campaign, which T-shirt perk, which is really I'm happy to see that.
Look, why?
It's black and white. Yeah, people have been really digging the T-shirt.
People are going to want to wear.
Yeah. Oh, I see Lucifer Storm's here. Yeah. Hey, buddy. He actually backed the T-shirt.
I was just going to pull out that chat. He said that's the level he backed.
He got. Yeah. No, he's great.
Okay. Let me ask you like a technical question. Sure. Where are you doing your fulfillment from? Because I'm trying to decide on my one if I'm going to do fulfillment in both England and America. Because fulfillment from America is a freaking fortune.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing it worldwide, if that's what you mean. I have people who
because I have a lot. My demographic is in the UK, right? So to have a book shipped from America to England is like $30, whereas to have it shipped in America is like $10. So that adds on a significant. So what I'm doing is I'm looking into seeing if I can have dual fulfillment, one in England, one in the States, just so I can.
Interesting.
So to cut down on shipping, because have you found that to be a factor that's like pull people off or
I have not so far. I've seen so far. I've had international backers who are okay with the $20. I have about 20-25 the shipping, because the book is 6x9, so I'm going to try and keep it as light as possible.
Oh, I love this mission.
Yeah, so that's the artist Michael Shea. I'm writing this one and working with him on the art, but he's doing obviously all of it. I did the designs for Wirehead and stuff like that because it was the character that I had in my head for a while.
Right.
And, I felt like my Blood Realm style. It wouldn't suit this. Like, there we go. See, there's the head pop.
Yeah, I love it. That's kind of, I love it. Is it going to be color or black and white?
We had it in color. The colorist did a nice job, but it wasn't until I accidentally showed Peter the black and whites, and he was like, "Whoa, these are the black and whites." I said, "Yeah." He was like, "You should just make this a black and white book, like it's from the '50s, like EC Comics." He said, and we should just yeah. And and Michael's blacks are very strong. They have nice contrast. So I feel like he's already coloring with black and white. So I think it just has a nice horror vibe to it with the black and white. I really do.
It's a little bit disturbing, isn't it? It takes you out of yourself. I like it. It's really nice.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Cool. So, I tell you, I'm looking forward to it. When do you think you're going to be shipping it?
Probably March or early April. Well, we're on a nice track already. Yeah. We're halfway through done. Yeah, we're halfway done already.
I have to tell you, look, I'm trying to scroll through the pages to show people, and I keep getting stuck looking at the pages.
Yeah, it's.
Let's look at your stretch goals. Well, first let's see where your campaign. Your campaign is at. Okay, fine. So you're about 4,500 off your goal, but you got 23 days yet.
Yeah, we have some.
By the way, great cover. Let me look at that cover again.
Yeah, we went for
the cover.
Oh, the colorist is Jose Exposito. He's in Spain, and he's just unbelievable. I actually worked with him on my children's books way back. So he gets me, and he knows Michael's art. He knows what I like. So he's killing.
like a really good like 80s slasher movie.
That's the vibe we're going for. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to read it. I like
Great.
slasher movies. It's
It's gonna
very cool.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we have my personal backer bonuses that I love is prints. I love art prints, so I hired I got some of my colleagues who are in my opinion.
I love this one. Do you have a bigger version of these?
Yes, all down below. Yes, yeah.
Oh, look, they look freaking awesome.
Yeah, so this is Christian Rossi. He does Void Walker over at Alterna Comics.
Right.
Unbelievable artist. And I told him, I said, I want the Rawhead Rex vibe because I always love that movie, Rawhead Rex.
Right.
So I want the lightning in the back.
Yeah.
He killed it. He did a great job with that. And this is actually my work. The next one's mine. So this one I was going for. This is like the Art and Blood realm. Thank you.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, so
I know, and also like the grain you put on the page.
Yes, thank you.
Movie poster. You know what? You should do an adaptation of The Wicker Man. That'd be
interesting. And this is Ryan Wynn. Ryan Wynn did a great job. He was going for like a They Live kind of vibe.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. And I think we have there's the image of the T-shirt there, and then we have the trading cards because trading cards are everything. It's very big right now. So we're gonna have a trading card with some kill stats on the back, little pros in the back. It's gonna be fun. The commission gallery, people can hire either me or that's my work.
Very cool. I like the guy with the.
And then you have Michael's work here, so you can hire him to do a nice big piece for you. And then we actually have the original cover art for sale as well.
Wow,
that's an original scan. Yeah.
How much is that?
I think we have it listed for 500.
That's very fair. That's very very. Yeah. Because I did tell you, Peter Smedley was right to tell you to do this in black and white. I mean, I like the cover, but it's very, very striking, isn't it? It really works well.
And he said, like with the cover, he was right too. He's very knowledgeable. He said, make sure it's a very limited palette because you don't want someone coming in with too much colors because there's so much line work. When there's too much colors and too much painterly stuff, you lose all that texture. And we noticed that. I didn't realize it, but like once I saw the black and whites again, I was like, wow, there was so much line work that Mike was putting into his work.
The texture in these trees, you would really let me look at the color. I mean, now I want to go look at the color print again.
Sure. Well, what's great about what he did though?
Oh man, that's tragic.
Yeah. But still, it's a limited palette with this. But when it was too painterly, it didn't quite work. But here and Peter, the font though, Peter Samedi did the font. I asked him to do the font. He just nailed it.
Yeah,
I said 80s horror vibe.
That's exactly the words out of my mouth. It feels closer to it. What was that movie they did? They did like two movies together, Tarantino and somebody else.
Oh, Grindhouse. Yeah.
So this feels much more authentic than that did.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah. So, and we're having a blast, and I'm pushing Mike with the artwork in terms of the stuff that's in the script, and it's very different because usually I do my own stuff. So I'm a bit of a tyrant, but I'm not a ruthless tyrant.
Well, I mean, the thing is because you understand the work involved. You're not that much of a dick about it, right? That's basically
exactly.
Yeah. It's always important to understand the process of something to be a decent boss with it. I just love this page. I freaking love this page.
I know. Peter said I should make a T-shirt out of that.
How far is this into the book?
How far? Oh, I don't know if you want to spoil, but this is pretty. This is only about maybe 15.
Right.
Pages
I was going to. It strikes me as First Blood. Like this is.
It is.
That
strikes me.
Things are getting things are going to get crazy.
Yes. This is to show you that no one's safe and that things are going to get absolutely insane. And we have a great sci-fi horror vibe to this because I love when sci-fi meets horror. It's quite possibly my favorite genre when it's sci-fi horror. I love that stuff. So I really wanted to have a nice, cool vibe near the end when we see maybe
be available through Alterna after the campaign, or is it just going to be through you?
No, Peter is certainly interested. So, we don't want to announce anything until we see how things go. It's kind of like drives me crazy when producers kind of go and say, "Oh, here's the first movie, and then we're going to announce the trilogy." It's like, well, wait a minute. Let's see how. Let the people decide first.
Exactly. You don't want to be Disney announcing the Rian Johnson trilogy.
Exactly. Yeah. Which was a horrible idea, anyway.
Oh no, the reason they did that because they knew how bad it was, right? That in hindsight. I just love these. I love going down these prints.
Yeah, they all great artists, wonderful to work with, and we have another print that's going to be unlocked once we hit 100 backers. So we're at 79 now. Once we get 21 more, everyone gets a Vincent Rush print. Vincent Rush is a phenomenal artist, and he did
absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's doing a killer piece of Wirehead.
Yeah, I kind of like this one. It just kind of like sticks with you.
I know. No, Ryan Wynn did that one. He does Gods and Gears over at Alternate. He has an IndieGoGo right now called Hammerella. So, but his art was.
So
yeah,
tell him to get in contact.
Yeah, no, I would definitely tell him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I get honestly, this is this is the sort of stuff that really excites me with comics. It's got the same sort of feeling as 2000 AD, which is what I read growing up. When you're reading, because you got it where it's like there aren't any rules. Anybody can do anything, and it's all driven by passion, which it really is. Yeah, you can totally tell it is. Let's see who's saying it. Lonnie Ware. Well, I'm just saying hello to me. Saying wish me best. Who else have we got in the chat here? Liam Nilsson's chin here. I will find you. He says, "Love Geronimo." Is that your real name, Geronimo, or is it your stage name?
Yes, it is. Robert Geronimo is my real name. Yes.
Wow. Are you like Native American or something? Or is it just like
I know everyone asks that. Actually, I'm actually Filipino and Italian. So I guess the Spaniards or the Spanish conquered the Philippines. So I guess that's how that name got carried over.
Okay, I don't know. Love Geronimo's art reminds me of great independent that I used to read and highlighted it in the documentary Comic Book Confidential. I didn't know you had Comic Book Confidential. I have to go check that out. And Lorthorf says quite correctly, independent comic writers. I will say creators, not writers, because I think we're in a very similar space. That I taught myself how to draw. So digital artwork saved my life. I couldn't do anything if I couldn't cheat with digital, which makes you erase things very easily. I taught myself to draw, so I can make comics. So that's how much you gotta love comics. You gotta be able to do it.
Right. Yeah, it's true. I feel like what's going to happen today is that people who love comics are going to make comics because it's a weeding out process. And at this point, if you love them, you're going to make them now.
Exactly. And only if you love them. So, M. Markovitz asked a very important question. We've gone over this before, but we're going to go over the tiers again because
sure.
If you just want the graphic novel on its own, it's $20. $20. I don't think you can say fairer than that for 80 pages.
80 pages.
80-page original complete story, which I like. You get I'm kind of sick of the serialized comics. I like to get one story.
Same.
If listen, I would recommend this tier, which gives you freaking everything. You get 2 of the graphic novel, right? So
with a head sketch too.
Sorry,
and you get a head sketch in one of them. Of Wirehead, original head sketch drawn in the book,
like a hand head sketch.
Yeah, like hand drawn, head sketch. So Michael's going to draw Wirehead in the book, and we're going to sign it in one of them. Then we're going to sign the other.
Very cool, very very cool. Fine, okay, so that knocked out the park. Fine, so it's signed with a sketch, and you get 2 prints. You get Blood Realm. That's great value. Oh my god!
You get 3 prints. I know, it's crazy.
I missed that. That's incredible. So that's so Blood Realm's what, 20 pages an issue or 22 pages?
Well, those are the volumes. Those are the full volumes with each 3 issues. So those are 100 pages each.
They're 100 pages each.
Yes, those are what we call alternate giants.
Okay, let's just back up here for a second. You get an 80-page original graphic novel, right? And then you get two, not one, two 100-page graphic novel, 100-page books. So it's 280 pages of, and this isn't filler. 280 pages, story pages, right?
Yeah.
Plus, and then you're going to throw into that sign, sketch, sketch, trading card, and three awesome prints for $50.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's a really incredible package. You know, so listen now. Although people like the T-shirt package, look at the T-shirt package again, because that's
we do have add-ons. That is great. I think you passed it up there. So, that shirt, that picture,
yeah. So, because the thing is, you should do another tier, like a $80 tier, where you throw the T-shirt into that one above, because
well, what's cool with IndieGoGo, you're able to add on. We have add-ons, so some people have been adding the T-shirt onto the featured perk.
Very smart. So, how's it? How much is the T-shirt if you want to add it on?
The T-shirt, I believe, is $25. If I'm not mistaken, okay, I believe.
So I say so. Now adding this together, $75. $75 gets you everything, freaking everything.
Everything.
And wow, if it's and you got okay, so you got two copies of the book. You're gonna keep one bagged and boarded, and then you're gonna put it away. And when Wirehead the movie is coming out in 20 years time, Wirehead 3 is on its way out. People are excited by it. You're gonna sell that copy. You're gonna sell that copy, right? And you're gonna put your kids through college. So that's what you do. You know, you get this is for a tiny investment day for $75 today. For $75 a day, you are ensuring your children's future. Of course, results may vary. I
should start pitching it that way. I should start doing that.
Oh, it's the truth. There, that's just it. Results may vary, but still, I think for $75, you know, I think it's worth a punt, don't you? I really do.
I agree. I completely agree.
So and also Lonely Webb says, smash the like button. Smash the like button. Is there a like button on IndieGoGo? Can I go ahead and just click the like button here, or do you do? No,
I think he means on your channel. Yeah.
Sorry? Hey, listen, you can hit the like button on my channel, baby. I'm not going to stop you. Let's see. Liam Nielsen Chin comes back in again. I will find you and I will kill you. It includes profiles of 22 notable and influential talent. I was talking about the
documentary.
Okay, who's in it? Charles Bird, Art Spiegelman, Francois Moulet. I don't know who Francois Moulet is. I now feel inadequate. I should have kept that to myself, really. See, you lean into it. Stanley, you know, Frank Miller, Will Eisner, Robert Crumb, Harvey Becker. Okay, fine. I am up to that. Thank you for let me know. It's from 1988. Fine, I'm sure it's there somewhere. Is it on Netflix? Probably not. Netflix is great for something unless you're looking for something specific, right? If you're looking for something specific,
right?
Fine. Okay, so wait. So we got the this is really the perk to get. Listen, if Penny, by the way, it's not going to be out for Christmas. I was going, this will be a great Christmas present, but or you can just do $30 on the Blood Realm. That's such value. I'm telling you, get the book plus both Blood Realms for $30. I tell you, how if you haven't read any of these books, this is time to bundle up. Wow! So you get this one is the two art prints. How big are the art prints? They're 6x9, right?
6x9 as well. Yes.
Very nice. And you get the book. These are just gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm having a blast.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So I think you're underpricing this. Quite frankly, I hope people go and snap it up. But I do think you're underpricing it.
Well, I mean, if that gets them to support, I think it's the first indie book, so I think I want to earn their trust and show them, hey, I'm gonna fulfill this. We're gonna make a great product for you guys. So I think that first trust is very important with your first IndieGoGo.
Okay, so what would you like in best case scenario? Where would you like to be? What's going on in 3 years from now for you?
3 years, it would be great to. Okay, so hypothetically, if this does well, I would love to obviously continue Blood Realm and finish that up, and then we'll have the IndieGoGo for the big tome, the compendium,
Right.
and a hardcover that's like the illuminated manuscript version. And I would love to do a slasher book every October. I think it'd be really fun to have other. I want to maybe create like a slasher verse, because I have another character I'd like to do. Maybe we can connect them somehow and do Wirehead meets so and so, like Frankenstein meets Wolfman.
Right. Yeah,
we'll see. But this is a self-contained story, and I want to make each one self-contained, and then maybe some of them will cross paths in some way. But that would be the dream, is that I could have people who are interested in this slasher comic universe and support it every year. So we'll see.
Listen, you know what? If it is based purely on quality of product and talent, there's no question it's going to happen. No question it's going to happen.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, the world doesn't run that way. But I hope this is one that it does. Right? I hope this is one of the times, because this is just a great book. This is just a great book full of passion. That again, the link is right there, right now. I'm going to put it in the chat again. That's there. We should know. The link is there. Go click the link. Look, you know what? As I say, even if you're not interested in buying it, go over to the IndieGoGo and look at it, because for every 100 people that look at it, 10 people buy. Be one of the 90 that don't. It's a numbers game. Just get people over there. If you have friends out there who like 80s horror, send them the link, share it. Yeah. After that, sure. You do not know. If you're out there, you do not know how much people like Robert will appreciate. If you don't buy it, just you sharing it and letting people know. Share it on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Share it on Twitter. Let people know about this book, because it's a book that I think really deserves to get out there. And I would like to see the next books the next books you do in the future. Fine. Is there? I got another live stream starting in half hour, so wow. But I can't. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you would like to talk about, that you would like to say? Anything? Go ahead. The world's your oyster, baby.
Well, I mean, you guys could find me on YouTube. I started a YouTube channel where I've been reviewing horror movies and stuff like that. I have guest alternate creators on where we talk comics and stuff like that. So and okay. Geronimo Draws.
I
also do
for your Twitter feed, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. 1 second.
Fine. Geronimo Draws channel.
Let me put that in the chat.
Sure. Yeah, we do horror game playthroughs with my friends, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of varied content.
Fine. So let me put that in the description as well. Mm-hmm. And subscribe to his YouTube channel. Let me ask you: do you like Doctor Who? You ever seen Doctor Who?
I haven't seen much, to be perfectly honest. You have an episode you can recommend to me?
You know what? I do. Funny you mention it. I do because I run competitions on my channel every week, and the prize this week is a fantastic freaking episode from, I'm going to say 1976. It's a 4-part story from 1976 called "The Robots of Death." It's a very Agatha Christie which is a terrible. Cool. Oh, that freaking sucks ass. But you would really I will take you a link to Actually, you know what? If you're ever up for doing a podcast of a newbie getting into Doctor Who, I would love to hear your take on it, because there's some great horror slasher stuff that comes out of that. You can really see it being born from that.
Oh wow!
So
where do I start? You're gonna have to tell me where to start, though.
I guess that's we've got to do a show now. Then you've talked me into it.
Yeah.
Fine. So listen, if you want to win that, Robert, if you want to win that, you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. It's a 2-step process. It is a 3-step process. Step 1, you subscribe to the channel. You subscribe. Now, what happens if you subscribe to the channel? I have heard it said that people will receive unlimited blessing for hitting that subscribe button. Because it was said of Abraham.
Unlimited.
That those who blessed him, them themselves were blessed, right? So they do say that about my channel. Those who subscribe, and again, I have to preface this and say results may vary, but they won't. Whatever you want out of life will be achieved by hitting that subscribe button. Right, that's just gonna happen. That's step 1. That's step 1 in your favor. Step 2, in the comments, leave the hashtag Taron Capel. Taron Capel. You don't know who Taron Capel is because he's a character from it. So you know what I've done? Go to the video notes. There's all the instructions about what you do. You just copy and paste that hashtag. Put that in the comments. And step three, you get lucky. You get lucky, and I pull your name out of the hat, and we're doing the prize draw. We do the prize draw on Sunday nights when I'm on another channel, the TARDIS Zone, when we're doing watch alongs of Doctor Who. So that all works out pretty well. So there you go. So
that's fantastic. That's hilarious.
That's what you can do. Fine, I've really got to go because I have another stream starting.
By the way, I just saw, Rabbi, that we just hit 80 backers. So whoever in the chat, if someone backed, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And you know what? Even if you're not in the chat, thank you very much. But yeah, you know what? I do like to hope it's me. But who knows or dares to dream. Fine, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button, but that's not the end of the story because, as you may know, StreamYard is developed by weak and indecisive men. Because when you click the end broadcast button, you know what it does? It comes up with another thing saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Am I sure?" Yeah, I broke the button from his face for asking me that before. Of course I'm bloody sure. I press the button. That means I'm sure. Now I've got to press another button that says really end broadcast. But it doesn't do it then. You just get a little spinny wheel.